Oh, managing money as a couple. Because nothing says true love like arguing over who's paying for the Netflix subscription. Whether you've been together for 5 years or 5 days, how you handle money together can either make you a dream team or cause you to start eyeing separate apartments. In this video, we'll dive into 3 main ways to manage money together: joint accounts, individual accounts, and a combination of both. We'll go over the pros and cons and how to figure out which method won't make you want to scream into the pillow. Plus, I've got some money tips for all couples so you can avoid the financial drama that no one's signing up for. So grab a snack, maybe a stress ball, and let's see how to manage your money without losing your sanity or your partner. The first way you and your partner can manage your finances is to go all in and combine all of your bank accounts. Yep, you heard me right, all in. With this method, you'll have joint checking and savings accounts, and all your money will flow into and out of these shared accounts. It's like taking your financial relationship into the next level, for better or for worse. A joint account is where both of you can deposit money, withdraw funds, and pay bills, all from the same pot. No more "I'll pay for dinner tonight" or "I've got the rent this month," because, surprise, it's both of your money. It's your finances together all the time. Oh, and let's be real, there is no way to avoid the fact that you are literally tied to each other in the most financial sense possible. When all your income goes into the same account, it's easy to see exactly what's coming in and going out. No more juggling different accounts or wondering where the money went. You are on the same page. Always. This setup makes it clear who's paying for what. Whether you're splitting rent, utilities, or the cost of Netflix, or is it HBO Max now? Everything comes from the same place. Saving for a big vacation, a house, or a shiny new car. When both of you are putting money into the same account, it's like having a piggy bank that only gets fatter. Plus, there is no "who's responsible for the savings this month" argument. Look, if you're the kind of person who likes to buy a surprise gift without anyone noticing the credit card statement, a joint account may not be for you. Everything is visible. Everything. If one person is a spender and the other is a saver, this can be a bit like being in a long-distance relationship with your money. You might end up pulling in different directions, financially speaking. While this may seem like a perk at first, both parties are equally responsible for the account. So if one of you has a sudden impulse to splurge on a vintage vinyl record collection, you'll both feel the effects. If you like your financial freedom where you get to spend your paycheck without getting approval, a joint account might feel like a cage. There is no "I'm just going to buy something without telling you" in a joint setup. Who it works best for? Couples who are 100% in sync with their financial goals and habits, or are willing to get there. People who are okay with the full transparency. If you are cool with each other knowing where exactly the money is going, this is your gem. Couples who want to save together and keep track of joint expenses without extra complication. If you are not into keeping multiple accounts and dealing with whose turn is to pay for the groceries dilemmas, a joint account simplifies that down to a single happy place. So there you have it, the no-nonsense, all-in approach to managing money as a couple. Will it work for everyone? Probably not. But if you can handle the transparency, accountability, and the occasional "why did we both agree on this coffee machine" moments, you might just find that joint accounts simplify your life and your relationship. Another way you and your partner can manage your finances is by keeping everything completely separate. Yes, that's right, individual accounts. This is the route that most couples take when they start out, and often is how they continue even after years of living together. It's like saying, "we are together, but I'll take care of my financial stuff and you'll handle yours." And the financial version of "you do you" with no strings attached. With individual accounts, both partners maintain their separate checking and savings accounts, and all of their income is deposited into their personal accounts. Bills, savings, spending, it's all handled by each person individually. If you think this method sounds like free at last, well, you might be right. It can definitely feel like the ultimate independence. But here is the thing, it's not all rainbows and butterflies. When you go down down this route, there are some logistical pain points to work through. First and foremost, who pays for what? You've got to figure out how to divide up expenses. Some couples simply divide everything down the middle. Each person pays half of the bills. It's straightforward, but not everyone's salary is the same. In a more equitable approach, if one person makes more money, they pay a larger share of the bills. Let's say you both bring in a combined total of $100,000 per year. One partner makes $40,000 and the other makes $60,000. Instead of splitting 50-50, you could decide that the person earning 40% pays 40% of the bills and the person earning 60% pays 60%. It's fair, but it's also a little more math than you could expect after a long day. Next, you'll need to figure out how you'll actually pay for everything. Will one person pay for all the bills and have the other pay them back after the end of each month? Or will each partner take on specific bills, like one handling the rent while the other covers utilities? There is no one-size-fits-all answer here, and the logistics can get a little tricky, especially when life changes, like a new job or adding kids into the mix. And don't forget shared financial goals. Whether you're saving for a vacation, a new house, or your kids' college funds, this requires even more coordination. Will you each contribute equally, or will one of you take on a larger share? Do you keep savings in the separate accounts or open a joint savings account just for specific goals? These are questions you'll need to answer to avoid any financial friction down the road. The pros here include: each person maintains their own financial independence. No one needs to answer anyone else about how their money is saved or spent. If you've both got different spending habits, hello, the shopaholic and the coupon queen, this method keeps things separate and mostly drama-free. This system works if both partners bring different debts into the relationship. If one person has student loans and the other one doesn't, keeping finances separate means each partner is solely responsible for their own debt. This system feels fair to a lot of couples because it avoids the argument about whose money is whose. Everything is clearly delineated. Your income is yours, mine income is mine. The biggest downside is the amount of coordination required. It's a lot of work and someone needs to keep track of what's being paid and who owes what. If career changes or kids come into the picture, it can feel like you are managing a mini business on the side. If one partner earns significantly more than the other, things can get tricky. One person might have plenty of fun money while the other is struggling to pay for the basic expenses. This can cause tension, especially if the income disparities isn't addressed or discussed properly. The downside of keeping finances separate is that it might prevent you from ever fully feeling like a financial team. You might be a team when it comes to love and life, but with money, not so much. This can lead to feelings of disconnection if one partner prefers joint finances and the other is all about keeping things independent. Who it works best for? Couples who value their financial independence and don't mind the extra work to manage everything separately. People who have different spending habits, financial priorities, or income levels and don't want to mix things up too much. Those who want to keep their debts and savings personal without feeling responsible for each other's financial baggage. But if you're a kind of couple who's down for a bit of extra work and occasional financial disagreements, this could be your perfect method. Just be ready to communicate a lot, because the more separate your accounts, the more you'll need to talk about who pays for what and how to handle things when the life throws you a curveball. If you've been eyeing the way to balance the simplicity of joint finances with the freedom of individual spending, then managing your money with a combination of both joint and individual accounts might be a golden ticket. This hybrid method takes the best elements of the other two approaches and blends them together, offering you the perfect mix of teamwork and independence. In this method, you maintain joint accounts for shared expenses and saving goals, while still keeping the individual accounts for personal spending. It's like having the stability of a partnership with the freedom to splurge on your own guilty pleasures without anyone passing judgment. or saving a bank statement. First, you both have a joint checking account. This is where your checks are deposited and used to cover all the shared bills, like rent, utilities, or entertainment. This is where the financial team effort really shines. It's all about shared responsibility. You'll also open a joint savings account for any long-term financial goals you're saving for together, such as buying a house, vacationing in the Bahamas. Dream big, right? Or creating an emergency fund. On the top of joint accounts, you each also maintain your own individual checking and/or savings accounts. These are used for personal spending. Think of them as me money accounts. You can each decide on an amount of your personal spending money each month, which gets transferred to your individual accounts. It's like a financial allowance for grown-ups. The combination of both worlds allows you to feel like a financial team, but still gives each partner the flexibility to manage their own spending. The joint account means the bills are paid together, so there is no scrambling to figure out who's handling the electric bill this month. You and your partner can see the big picture of your shared finances, which can make easier working toward the common goals. But the best part? Personal freedom. With individual accounts, you each get to indulge in your own spending habits, no questions asked. So if one of you is a saver and the other one is a spender, you can still make it work without constant friction. You get the simplicity of joint accounts to manage your shared responsibilities while still keeping your personal space with individual accounts for personal spending. No more fights over where you should get those $200 sneakers because, hey, it's your money. By pooling your money for shared expenses and financial goals, you're literally in it together. It encourages teamwork when it comes to big purchases or long-term plans like home buying, retirement, or kids' education. While you're both managing the bulk of your finances together, you can still splurge on that online purchase without feeling like you are hiding anything. Plus, since you both get a set amount for personal spending, there is no need for awkward money talk about each other's habits. You know where the money is going, but neither partner feels like their personal finances are under constant scrutiny. It's like financial freedom with a safety net. If one partner makes significantly more than the other, problems could arise when it comes to dividing your personal spending money. If one person is reckoning a high income while the other is scraping by to cover their share of bills, you might end up with one partner living large while the other is watching every penny. You'll need to decide ahead of time how to fund individual accounts fairly to prevent this. A conversation about proportionality, like I make 60% of the total household income, so I'll contribute more to the shared accounts, could help keep things balanced. Having both joint and separate accounts means more accounts to monitor. You'll need to stay on top of each account's balance, and making sure everything is funded properly might take a little time and effort than simply sticking to one method. For couples who don't love tracking finances, this could mean like adding extra work to the pile. Who it works best for? Couples who want flexibility and structure. This system works great if you want to manage your bills and savings together but still retain your independence when it comes to a personal spending. Couples with different incomes. If you've got a big salary gap, this hybrid method could help smooth things over. You'll feel like a team while ensuring everyone gets equal amount of fun money to spend however they want. Couples who communicate openly. The combination of accounts requires open and honest communication. You'll need to be clear about how much will go into the joint accounts and how the individual accounts will be funded, especially when the income disparities are involved. A hybrid approach to managing your finances offers balance. You'll get the practicality of joint accounts to manage shared expenses and goals while also retaining the freedom to handle personal money matters separately. However, just like any method, it requires communication and fairness to work well. With both partners on the same page, this could be an effective, harmonious way to handle your money together. No matter which method you choose to manage your finances as a couple, there are some universal tips that can help set you up for financial harmony. A spouse isn't just a roommate. You need to figure out logistics and plan as a family for both shared goals and maintaining a strong credit rating. Regular discussions about your financial status will ensure you're on the same page and that no one feels left out or overwhelmed by unexpected financial decisions. Newlyweds should discuss retirement plans and long-term goals such as buying a house, saving for a dream vacation, or paying off major debts. It's ideal for both spouses to contribute to retirement accounts and set up automatic savings for future needs. Having a clear picture of what you both want to achieve in the coming years will help you make better financial decisions today. It can be a shock to discover that your partner has a financial history, a bad credit, a credit card debt, student loans, or other challenges. Having an open conversation about financial obstacles is uncomfortable, but it's crucial. The sooner you share this information, the sooner you can both start planning for it. Transparency about your financial struggles can help you work together toward a healthier financial future. Bottom line, there is no one-size-fits-all approach to managing finances in a marriage. However, with communication, trust, and solid planning, you and your spouse can work together to keep your financial lives in harmony. And if you're struggling to come up with a joint plan that works, don't hesitate to seek advice from a financial counselor to help you guide through the process. I hope now you get a better understanding of joint individual accounts and a combination of both. By the way, these were not all the tips I prepared for couples for managing their finances. Don't forget to subscribe to hear more in the next video.